Bretton Woods agreement was basically we saw World War II was waning. Economic situation of Europe, not good. Infrastructure blown to pieces in a lot of areas. America stepped in and said, we're going to be the world reserve currency. We're going to tie our dollar to gold, and that's going to allow you all to hold dollars, rebuild your infrastructure with the backing, knowing that if anything were to hit the fan, you can turn in what I believe was $35 and you would get an ounce of gold.
Dead on.
That agreement, this was when we really became the captain of the planet. Issue that came was France and other countries started sniffing that we didn't have as much gold as maybe we said we were, to the point France actually sent a battleship to one of the harbors in New York demanding their gold.
This was at like the height of the nuclear scare. President Charles de Gaulle actively began cashing in U.S. dollars for physical gold to undermine U.S. financial dominance, launching a secret operation to repatriate French reserves from the Federal Reserve in New York. The 1960s demand and repatriation. In 63, de Gaulle demanded all foreign-held French gold to be returned to Paris to protect its leverage. Between 63 and 66, France exchanged its dollar reserve for physical gold and transported hundreds of tons from the New York Fed back to France using Air France planes. Imagine someone just shoots down those planes. It's all gone! France further aggressively redeemed dollars for gold leading up to the 1971 collapse of the Bretton Woods system. In 1971, France sent a warship to New York to aggressively exchange U.S. dollars for gold from the Federal Reserve. This dramatic move, rooted in a broader push by President Charles de Gaulle to undermine the U.S. dollar's global supremacy, ultimately forced President Richard Nixon to abandon the gold standard. Wait a minute. And it was a French warship in the harbors of Manhattan that officially made Nixon go, you know what, fuck it.
What month was that in, too? Because I think the official decision was actually made...
August 1971, France sent a warship to New York Harbor.
So this is why they officially made the announcement. They started looking into it.
August 15th, 1971, Nixon closed the gold window.
In April. Do you know who... Okay, so this is another one. You know Blackstone, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's like you've heard of McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
So Blackstone birthed BlackRock. Blackstone originally was I believe, founded in the 80s by Schwartzman and Peter G. Peterson.
And then BlackRock came out. Yes.
BlackRock, yes. They funded BlackRock. I think it was early 90s for Larry Fink to go 50-50.
Yes, that is exactly right. Google AI says.
88, co-founder Steven Schwartzman, Peter, to Larry Fink. And then they would go public in the early 90s. So Peter G. Peterson, founder of Blackstone, was on basically hiatus from his, I'll scoot over, his CEO-dom. He was, I think, a CEO in the film industry doing some shit like in the 60s. And then obviously in the 80s, 90s, Blackstone, and there was another company in the middle. But there was this gap in the early 70s, late 60s. I was like, what was this guy doing? It was like a 2-year gap.
Early 70s, late 60s.
He was in the White House. He was, and you can actually find this.
Was he planting them
on
tapes?
Peter G. Peterson's wiki, I think.
Was he planting them tapes?
He was a part of the economics team that advised Richard Nixon around global trade. And it was actually Peter G. Peterson's report that he gave him in April that convinced him that we needed to get off the gold standard. So the founder of all of the bullshit we know as private equity today was the main reason that the inflation brakes were taken off of this economy, which I find to be interesting.
And for people out there, what makes that so interesting that it was able to, what about that was able to birth private equity's power, so to speak?
The weakness of the dollar. When we removed gold, because there will be a lot of speculation around this. Oh, well, we couldn't be on the gold standard. We were expanding too fast. Didn't have enough gold.
Well, FDR did the buyback.
Did the buyback thing. JFK wanted us to have a gold silver backed dollar. You can go into the logistics of it. We couldn't do it today. There's not enough gold on the planet. Could we do it in other ways with Bitcoin, silver? Sure. But the reason this was such a big deal is at that point, we could not create more dollars unless we got more gold.
Mm-hmm.
When you remove the backing of the gold from the dollar, you're now saying the certificate I have given you, which at one point was if you had 35 of these certificates, these dollars, if you had 35 of these, I could give you an ounce of gold. which meant the dollar had a real true backed
Yes.
value. When you remove that backing, you're creating a currency known as a fiat currency.
That's right.
Which puts it in the same category as monopoly money.
Yes.
It only holds value when we agree to it. It only holds value when we're all playing by the rules of the game. Like when I land on Boardwalk and you have a hotel there, I don't give a shit if I'm not playing the game and I'm a bystander. But if I'm playing the game and I'm about to run out of money and assets, it matters a shit ton to me. It's the same with the dollar. As long as we all accept it, that's the value. And when we remove the gold, now it's all up to government trust for the value of the dollar, the world reserve currency. And we've seen ourselves, and this is the biggest issue, because that in of itself isn't the economic issue. The economic issue comes with we now have undisciplined, unfettered government spending that anytime we hit a deficit, we say, we can just print. And we have slowly but surely been inflating not just America, the entire world's economy, because 60% of the world's reserves are held in the dollar. We are ripping the entire world a new one financially every time we print money. And we couldn't have done it the way that we're doing it now if we had a gold backing.